I do love the Vulcan, but honestly all this scribing is getting me down, and cutting out all the parts for the resin to go in, just it's like trying to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, this thing. Oh, hello everybody, hi, Nigel here with you. I'm just working on this Vulcan which I've been playing with for many years, and you can see I've got the resin nose gear in there, I've got the resin bits and pieces here. I've got a flight path set if I want to convert it into a tanker. But yeah, oh dear, this scribing is just getting me down. I'm getting on with it all right. As you can see, it's coming out okay. You know, we got all the scribing on the upper surfaces there. You know, it's coming out okay. It looks a lot better than the raised detail. But I just wish Airfix would come up with something a bit more modern. This has been around for donkey's years. Bloody hell! They've done it. It's here finally. We've got a new Vulcan B2. Kit number A12011. Yes! And what a beautiful box art showing off the Blu-ray missile and everything. Really nice. Oh wow. So glad I got this. Right, so let's have a look around the box. You can see here we've got the we've got two options in the box. So we've got the Avro Vulcan B Mark II, the Scampton wing from 617 Squadron, 27 on 83 from 1966, and then we've also got the number 12 Squadron 1963, no section now preserved at the Avro Heritage Museum. I'm really excited, this is great. And this one, the aircraft is currently preserved at the Newark Air Museum, and they have actually got one, haven't they, at the Midlands Air Museum. I've been in the cockpit on that one. Well, let's get this box open and have a look inside. This is a good day. Now, I'm not going to lie, I have seen Phil Flory's review on YouTube, and it does look very nice. I haven't looked at anybody else's reviews because I don't want to be, you know, biased or anything. Some people will say, oh, the shape of this bit is wrong, and then I'll start looking at it and I'll find it's wrong, and you know what happens then. And yeah, it's a model. So, great big box, and we've got great big plastic sprues. And what I'm hoping, what I'm hoping to find is that this is a kit that goes together beautifully and is designed by a modeler for modelers, and it's got no silly greeblies about it. And I'm also hoping the plastic's going to be nice and hard, and we're not going to have that horrible grainy finish like we had on the F5 Hellcat. So now we've got two sprues in there, they're bagged up together, and then we've got the clear parts in there on a separate sprue inside that bag. Looks like we've got Bombay detail in there, and the plastic does actually look quite smooth. So there's our Blu-ray. Oh wow, this is great. It smells exactly the same as the Hellcat does when it was new. So everything's separately bagged except for those two wing sections. So first things first, as per usual, let's have a look through the instructions. Right, so I got this yesterday, the day before yesterday. I ordered this from Jadlam Hobbies, and straight after I ordered it, I looked again and it was gone, so sold out. So I think Airfix have sent out first allocations to their biggest customers, if you like, or the ones that got on the bandwagon first, and I think Airfix have sort of sent out everything they have, and now they're going to wait for a next lot to come in, so we shall see. So basically we've got the normal sort of Airfix manual here. Looks like we've got a colour pull out here, so we'll have a look at that in a minute. So manual's nice. Oh, we've got another pull out there. Is that stapled in? No, I thought it was a la Kitty Hawk. So normal sort of paper A4 size manual, and we can see we've got the red bits on it as well. So got some information about it there. So I'll put this up to the camera so you can freeze frame if you want and read it. And if you're French, and if you're German, oh sorry, you want to see this side as well, don't you? So you got English, French, and German. Okay, so there we go. We can have a look at that. They're telling you here to always wash the parts in warm soapy water, which I would tend to do anyway. Some parts in the kit may not be required to build the model specified, so they're probably going to be coming out with a K2 tanker and everything as well. So straight into the manual here. Just check you are all in screen. Yes, you are. Oh, we got Spanish there as well, and SV. Is that Slovakian? SV Slovakian? Not sure. And they've got lots of different languages here for all our health and health and safety. Well, it's not really so much health and safety, it's telling you to study the drawings and paint your small parts first, and then you've got your icons here, which are basically a simple, so you can see here you've got X2, and there's an X2, it means times 2, it means make 2 of them. And then these triangle letters here mean that is the sub-assembly from the previous sub-assembly. So you've got 4, so there's 4, you've done that. This is 5, which is the assembly of the instrument panel and control sticks. So there you got 5 and 4 going together. Okay, the red bits, something that is sort of special to Airfix. They always do this. They're showing you. So when you come to step 1 here, you're putting these 2 parts on. If you're not quite sure how they go, I mean it's very simple. You would be sure. Then the next part shows those last parts you fitted in red. So in step 2, the parts that are red were fitted in step 1. In step 3, the parts that are coloured red were fitted in step 2, and so on, and so on. And there you get it. And the numbers here, these are relating to Humbrol colours, which you can go and do a mix. Sorry, not a mix. A comparison on different websites, and you can match these up to whatever paint supplier you want to use, whether that be Vallejo or Mr. Hobby or Tamiya or whatever. So moulded on seats. Now none of this cockpit really matters because you're not going to see any of it. The canopy, if I can find that canopy again. If you look here, there's your canopy. Okay, I'm looking in a minute, but those windows are absolutely tiny and you're not going to see anything. Although if you have the hatch open, you will see up a bit inside. But as I just said, I have been in one of these Vulcans in the Midlands Air Museum, and I just remember black. I just remember everything was black. So there we go. So straight on with the cockpit, we're putting the these are the side walls for the undercarriage bay by the look of it. And then, is that going to be the undercarriage bay? We'll have a look in a minute. I think the undercarriage bay is further back, isn't it? Then we've got the centre console going in there. Then we've got rudder pedals going in, forward bulkhead, instrument panel with control sticks going down in there, building up the seats, adding the cushions and painting all the details on them. Then we're adding the seats to the cockpit, putting on the side panels. Again, we've got decals for it. We're not going to see any of it. So, you know, you've got this step here. I do remember that being in yellow. So, yeah, that's worth painting because you're going to see that if you look up underneath. Then we've got the seats here for the navigator and everything. That's the seat I sat in when I went in it. That one there. And then we've got the seats going in there, adding in the rear bulkhead, which is also the control panel for the radio and weapons guys and everything. This is a fantastic idea. If you're watching this Airfix, whoever did this, you are a complete and utter star. Thank you very much. This is 2 parts of a nose section that you glue together, and then that glues onto the front of the cockpit, and all that then is sandwiched inside the nose of the fuselage. So you can put your weight in there, okay, put lead strips, lead balls, whatever, fix it in with some super glue, don't use white glue, and then you can just fix that in there, job done. Okay, and if it comes loose, it's not going to roll to the back of the airplane, it's just going to stay in that area. Absolutely wonderful, brilliant idea, thank you very much. Go and work for other companies as well and get them to do the same, because that is brilliant. Then we're putting the nose together. As long as it fits inside here nicely, if it doesn't fit inside there, then we're going to need some work. So what I would suggest is dry fitting that together first with some tape, and then, or just dry fit it because the tape will interfere. Then put your fuselage around the outside. Check it's all going to close up before you glue it, because you can easily sand those faces down and get it to get a bit smaller rather than have to do it all after you've put the weight in there. So here we've got this is our canopy going on, and we've got 2 different noses here, so A and B. So A is it usually tells you in here. So basically A is the camouflage version and B is the white coloured version. For closed crew door, fit option G12 here. For the open option, see steps 137 to 139 on page 28. So obviously what this is to sand and file, or cut and file away the actual hinges there, and then you're going to glue them in shut. But you're not going to glue that in yet if you're having an open canopy, open door. And then you've got a clear part there, which is obviously some sort of vision port in there. And then we're going to go here. So if we're doing the blue steel missile, we're going to be cutting away part of our bulkheads, building up all this framework here, which is going to be it looks like it's going to be the upper area of the bomb bay. Looking at that, and we're going to have numbers on there, which is one of Airfix's little things they do, which is wonderful. You get all the parts off the sprue, you clean them up, and you're like, which was which? With Airfix, they put a number on it. You can see you've got a 5 on there, that was a 6, that was 4, that was 3. Brilliant. Then we've got the sidewalls there of the Bombay, I'm guessing. And then we've got another wing spar going on. That's a lovely looking wing spar, so that's going to really hold everything nicely. And then we're putting all the roof of our Bombay there, so you've got some lovely Bombay detail, which you didn't get in the older kit. And then we're adding another wing spar in. Bloody hell, these wings are going to be solid. And then there's a beam there which is going forward to aft. So that's really, really good. So here we've got a lot of work to do. So A and B, we've got to drill a 1mm hole in there. A and B, we're going to be drilling 1mm holes here. We're going to be cutting away this section here for going for the blue steel version. And then another fantastic idea. Well done, Airfix, once again. We've got undercarriage doors. If you're having your undercarriage closed, you just fit those from the inside. Job done. What a brilliant idea. Why has nobody else ever thought of that? I don't know of any other kit that does it. So you haven't got to fiddle about with trying to get the doors to sit in there and not fall in and everything. And again, we're drilling holes and cutting and filing on that wing. Then we're putting it all together. No, only scheme B should be built with the Bombay doors open. To build this option, miss out steps 33A, 33B, 34A, and 34, then go straight to steps 35 and 36 on page 12. So only scheme B should be built with the Bombay doors open. Okay, to build this option, you're going to miss that, you're going to miss that, you're going to miss that, and you're going to miss that. So you're going to go straight to here. So if you're going to have your Bombay doors open, you should build scheme B, or build what you want. The aftermarket decal companies are going to jump. I think I've already got some decals for it. So I would like to have it in camouflage, not white, but with the doors open. So I don't know. So this one is showing you with all the undercarriage and everything all closed up. This one is the blue steel. Okay, so this is with the undercarriage all closed up, and this is going to be with your undercarriage down. I'm guessing, yeah. Sorry, I lost it there for a minute. Right, so this is the blue steel version. So you're adding in this extra long Bombay door area, if you like, with the bulge in it, so that the blue steel could sit up in there. So you're adding that in there, and then you'd be moving on then to 34A and adding in your inner framework with the pieces cut out and everything. If you're building the white version, version B, but with the undercarriage up and the door shut and everything, then here you're going to fit in your closed Bombay doors, put the wing sections together, and then fit your Bombay and spar assembly into there. So that's what we're doing there. So if you're building it with Bombay doors open, you ignore all of this and you go straight to here and you put your wing spars onto each wing and bring it all together that way. You've also got a tab on there you can see that's going to locate on there, so that's going to sort of slot up under and then come up. It's a very nice model, this, by the look of it. So here's the building a model undercarriage in the up position. That's going to be your nose gear door in the closed position. Then we're going to build up our main gear bay. Oh, that's the nose gear bay. So I wonder what that black panel was underneath the cockpit. I guess that was just the sidewalls of the entrance area. So this is your nose gear bay there. And then we're going to build up our main gear bays here. And they're going to go in. We've got some, you can see because they're all separate parts, there's going to be some lovely detail in there, especially considering it's 72nd scale. And then we've got the same here. And that's going to drop down in there and glue from inside. Really need to make sure that's glued in really nice and strong and solid, so it doesn't push away. Then we've got this clever little idea here. We've got some paper templates which you can cut out. I would suggest photocopying them. You know, get a rule and mark 10 or 20 mil or something, and then photocopy them. Check the rule is correct, the 10 or 20 mil is correct, so your size is right, and cut it out there rather than cutting your instructions up. But this is basically a template because the area inside here is going to be white, I guess, and the area up to the yellow line you've got there is going to be the colour of the underside and the upper side of the aircraft. So that's a nice little touch. So upper surface camo on there. Upper surface camo, so the upper surface camo on all four, I'm guessing, all four halves. And then this 130, which I'm guessing is going to be like an off-white colour. We can soon find out because it will tell us on here what the colours are. 130 is actually satin white, so I was right. There's a first sign for everything. And then we're going to put our engines together. Now I would suggest probably, if you can, glue them together, deal with the seams, and then put the engine intakes on afterwards rather than doing it the way they're suggesting there. But we'll have a look. And then we're going to chuck all that into the wings, glue that all in, and then we've got some clear parts here by the look of things for our landing lights, which is a nice touch. And then the whole upper wing assembly goes together with these tabs, and that's going to look Looks really, really strong. And then that's going to go onto the lower wing assembly, and you'll have a complete wing. So you haven't got it like the early kit is, with the huge centre section fuselage and then the wings going on. You don't have that huge great seam. And then the nose piece is going to go on, and that's got a little bit of the air intake on there. And then you've got another bit of the air intake going on here, which is all nice. Then we're going to build up the tail section. So they're telling us to drill a hole in there for version B. And then we've got the exhausts here, and then this is just a jig. This part here is E1, just to make sure you've got them in the correct orientation with each other. So you're going to glue all those shells on, and then you're going to take your part B off. And then this here, that is going to, I thought it was another jig then, that is going to get glued in. They're telling us to do a bit of drilling as well in here. So there's your exhaust turbines, and then that little lot's going to go in there, and then your exhaust will pop onto the end. Same on the other side. And then we've got all these ducts and everything going in. We've got this panel here, which I'm assuming that's going to be F34, F34, F34. Okay, they've got a different part for versions A and B, and that's going on the backs in between the engines. So that's going to be like a spoiler type thing. And then we've got these rails here that are going to go in for that to sit on. Then we're going to come up the, this is the top of the fin, putting the fin together, adding the top of the fin to the fin, and then putting the rudder on. So you've got a nice separate rudder, and it's also, which is a really nice touch, they're telling you the actual maximum you can have it. So if you don't make a silly mistake and make your model look daft with it being too far out. And they've done the same here, building up the flaps, putting the flaps on. They can be 10 degrees up or 22 degrees down, so they must be flapper-ons, or maybe they form like an air brake, I don't know. I'm sure somebody will tell us all in the comments. And then we've got ailerons on the outside here. They're going to go in, maximum 12.5 up, 27 down. And then we've got the actuator covers going in there for them in their neutral positions. So I'm guessing if you want to have them down, then you'll have to file some of that away. And if you have them up, then you'll have some surgery to do. Air brake. Is that the air brake? No, that's an undercarriage door. So undercarriage doors there. We've got some wheels there. Looks like they're not flat spotted. Main gear going together. Sorry, that's the front. That's the no, that is the main gear. 8 wheels on each landing gear, which is a nice touch. It'd be interesting to see how nice these wheels look, because they are quite a feature of the Vulcan. Adding all the gear in, putting the gear in there, adding the gear into the bays, doing the same again on the other side. So one nice thing with Airfix instructions, particularly for beginners, they don't just assume that you're an expert modeler and say repeat on the other side. They actually do every bit you need to do, and they show you, which is one of Airfix's nicer points. And then we've got the main gear doors, more doors going on there. And then we're building up the nose gear, adding the nose wheels, fitting the nose gear into there, fitting the doors on, and the actuators and everything, which is really nice. And then we're going to build up these massive bomb assemblies, and we're going to fit them up into the bomb bay. And then it looks like we're building up our bomb bay doors with interior detail, and you're going to have the bomb bay doors open. I'm wondering why you can only have that bomb bay with the white scheme. I wonder why you can't have it with the camouflage scheme. Maybe there never was a camouflage one that carried standard bombs. I think there probably was though. Here, building up the blue steel missile. We've got the air brakes down there if you want, or spoilers. I'm not sure if they're air brakes or spoilers for the bomb bay. It looks like they probably are air brakes. And then we're building the blue steel up there. You've got the folded over fin for when it's on the ground. And then we're going to build up the ladder. So you've got a nice, very nice looking ladder on there. Telling you that ladders have to go at 45 degrees, and then we're fitting on some greeblies and pitot tubes and stuff. Looks like more air brakes here, facing up or closed. You've got the option of having them up or down. More greeblies, refueling probe going on the nose, and that's it. Now, something I'm a little confused about here. Okay, I thought it was the other way around. It's saying A version has the refueling probe. So, if that is in fact a refueling probe, which I think it is. Anyway, there we go. So that's the instructions. Let's have a look at some plastic. I think before we look at some plastic, we just have a look at our colour call-outs. Humbrol colours, as I say, all called out there. You've got all the colours written down. BS colours, I know for a fact that that's available with Tamiya. That's available with Tamiya. They're all, you could get them all with pretty much any manufacturer you want. Viejo do some versions of that as well. So this is basically the camouflage version with the white underside with the blue steel missile, currently preserved at the Newark Air Museum. They've told you twice, so there you go. So Vulcan B Mark II, and this is version A, as you can see there, it's got an A. Lincolnshire, England, 1966. So there we go. And then over the page we've got the white one, which would be the nuclear colours, if I remember rightly. I should know this, shouldn't I, being a British person. And then this one's got the faded markings as well, the lower vis markings, whereas this one's got the bright ones. So very nice indeed. Might look good to have the white one sat there with a Valiant. It'll look quite nice. We've got decals here. Give you a close-up on these. This look very nice indeed. They look very good, well in register, very nicely coloured. Let's get some better light over here. There we go. So we got some bits and pieces there. We've got our instrument panels, which you're not going to see. We've got some stencil data. We've got our flashes for the fin, XM594, and all little bits and pieces there. And then down the bottom here, we've got all our, these are going to be our yellow rings for our bombs, no doubt. And then we've got the low vis stuff there. But they're beautiful decals, slight sheen to them, very in register, don't look too thick. Let's just hope they go down with microset and sole as well as we would hope. We've got foxes there. So yeah, very nice indeed. Very nice. Right, so that's the decals taken care of. And then finally, we have got version A stencil data here. I expect you just all glared out. We've got version A stencil data there for those that love the stencils. Fill your boots on that one. And then we've got version B stencil data there. And on this one you've got stencil data for the blue steel missile as well, which is a nice touch. I guess if you want to do this as a quick build, you can just build all the Bombay up for strength, not have to worry about painting anything, and just close it all up and use the blue steel. That would be a very quick build, rather than, you know, having to paint all the bombs and paint all the framework and then wash it and weather it and all that. So there we go. Right, plastic. So I'm going to leave the camera where it is and try and show you everything. So open the bags. Got our clear parts there we can have a look at in a minute. So here we are, our wings. So, oh yes, very smooth, very smooth plastic, lovely surface detail. If anything, slightly heavy, but hey, when it's painted it's going to look gorgeous. Got some lovely vent detail on there. The panel lining is beautiful, it's really sharp and crisp. We've got some rivet detail there, we've got some stiffening panels. Very nice. So we'll give you a close-up in a sec. And on the inside, obviously none of it's going to be seen, but we've got these dots in here which are going to help you cut out those areas if you're going to do blue steel. So yeah, very nice indeed. And then the upper wing panel here, again, beautiful detail. Got some raised detail there and raised detail there. These are obviously vortex generators. There's air brake sockets there. Little bit of sink marks there, but hey, that's not going to notice under a coat of matte paint. A little bit of sinkage here as well, but if we're going to be working on that seam, we can fill that in with some Mr. Surfacer at the same time. I will show you close up, don't worry, in a second. But yeah, very nice indeed. So having a look on here, we can see the detail close up. Let me get the light better for you. So we can see we've got a little bit of sink around here, as you can see, but it's nothing much at all really. And a little bit up around here, you can see there in the shadows. I think it looks worse on the camera than it really is, to be honest. But there we are, very crisp, very nice panel detail. And then on the inside of here, which is quite a big sprue, on the inside of here we've got all our Bombay detail. Got the ejector pin marks to get rid of if you are having your bombs displayed, although there may be stiffeners going over there, so they may be covering them up. But yeah, very nice. And then show you the lower wing surface. You can see we've got all this lovely rivet detail here around the front of the undercarriage bays. Very nice indeed. And you can see we haven't got that grainy plastic. It's lovely and smooth, and also feels, it's a lot harder. It's not that normal, really soft Airfix stuff. You can see if I hold one end of this sprue, you know, it's not really flexing very much. If I did that with the Hellcat kit, it would almost be touching the bench. So yeah, very nice indeed. Likey. Right, let's have a look at that one after. Have a look at another big one. once again, great big bags, which is a really nice touch. I like the way Airfix are doing this now. They're making their sprues to fit the boxes, and that really does help with avoiding damage in transit, because they can't all slide around over each other, which is a really good idea. So you can see the size of this sprue. This is 21 inches by 14. It's huge, and it's beautiful. It's lovely, lovely detail. As for accuracy, I don't know, and some of you won't believe I'm going to say this. I don't care. It just looks like a really pleasurable model to build. So we'll go around the sprue. So there's your blue steel panel that's going to go in. You can see all the engravings going to match the model. Then we've got our doors, our bays, all the interior detail in there, which is really nice. That's our main gear bay roofs. These are parts of these are the splitters for the intakes. Then we've got those undercarriage doors, which looks like, yeah, they are the ones that fit in, and so you can have them closed. Really nice touch. Sides of the bomb bay there. Then we've got the main spar going across with the engine faces on there. Then we've got another couple of spars here, you can see. And then here we've got all our cross members for the top of the bomb bay. And yeah, the 3 and 5 are numbered on that side, and 2, 4 and 6 are numbered on that side. This one doesn't get a number unless I just didn't see it. Yeah, it's got a 1 on it. So they're numbered on both sides, or on opposite sides for some. So there we go, and you can see there we've got another part of the bomb bay there with all some detail on it. And then we've got the engine intakes, which look very, very nice indeed. So yeah, and there's those massive spars that are supporting everything. There's some more bomb bay roof detail there, show you on the inside, because that's the side you're going to want to see. That's got all the detail in it there. So very nice indeed. I'm going to put these sprues, they're so bloody big. Right, let's do the bags as they come out now. Okay, so here we have, looks like we have the fin. So we've got our fin. Also, none of the parts are broken off the sprues, and also notice there's no flash, and we do have fairly small connectors. So these are all our flaperons or flaps or whatever they are. There's those bits that go between the engines. We've got our fin there. Some gear doors, or is that's ailerons, isn't it? And there's the rails that support these parts here. At the top of the fin. Are they different versions for different models? I'm not sure. But yeah, very, very nice. And again, we've got the engraved detail on there, which is very, very crisp and very sharp. So here's our blue steel. So I'm kind of wondering why we had a I'm a little confused, and maybe someone can tell me, maybe that isn't part of it, but I'm just wondering what this is, if that's for blue steel. We'll find out when we build it, won't we? So there we go, we've got some intakes there, some bits and pieces. These are the fins for the blue steel, and then we've got the sort of attitude things, and then some intakes and a couple of greeblies there, but all very, very nice. Maybe we don't use that part there, maybe that's for the Valiant. Right, so over here as I say, when you cut the bags open, always look for loose parts. There's something there that is just literally a little piece of flash. First piece of flash I've seen on this kit. I am putting the bags on the floor, but I won't be throwing them away. Always check your bags. So this is quite a busy sprue as well. So we've got our nose sections here. We've got our forward bulkheads around the cockpit. There's that beautiful little cell you get for putting your weight in. Cockpit seats with the belts moulded on. We've got rudder pedals down there, tiny. And then our seat frames. And then this is the entrance area where you're going to go up underneath for the ladder. There's our entrance area there. And then we've got the cockpit floor, seat mounts on there, is it? That's the seat mounts for the navigator, weapons guy. Looks like we've got some oil on there, so these screws will definitely need a wash. 2 different noses there, and then we've got our closed standard Bombay. These are the inside of the Bombay doors, so you get interior details for the Bombay doors. And then you've got all your bombs here, which is a nice touch. Inside the fuselage, there's no sidewall detail, but as I said, you know, you're not going to see any of it anyway, so there's no point. I mean, I bet Edard comes up with a lovely detail set for it, but I mean, you're not even going to see as much as you can in a B-52, and you can't see much in one of them. But very, very nicely done, very crisply moulded, no flash, beautiful sprue connections, really, really nice little kit. Okay, so this is our final bag. Where's my knife gone? It's not our final bag because we haven't looked at the clear parts yet, have we? So, final bag has got this sprue in it here with bits broken off. So that would indicate there will be different variants along the way. Okay, so this little one first. On here we've got, is that FOD covers? Looks like that's FOD covers. And then we've got our pitot tubes and bits and pieces and greeblies. We've got our air brakes here for the underneath and the top. Very nicely done. So it's got a little ejector pin mark on it or something on the outside. It's a bit weird. But, yeah, again they're numbered as well, which is nice of them. So if you cut them off and sand them, and you don't get lost and wonder which one's which. So yeah, beautiful. Right, and then this sprue here finally. This is going to be our landing gear. So we've got all our lovely wheels on here. We've got our main landing gear, nose landing gear. All looks very strong. Got the entrance ladder, which looks very finely detailed. The entrance door. These are the railings for the side of the ladder, I think. And then we've got undercarriage doors. We've got more parts of undercarriage here. And then we've got some more parts of undercarriage door stuff here. And as I say, wheels. And then we've got the wheels here. And the wheels do look beautifully detailed. We'll have a close look at them. You could just sand these and put a little flat spot on them. They probably wouldn't have much of a flat spot on them anyway. And then here we've got the tail section of the aircraft, and these are parts of our exhausts, which all look nicely done. There's that jig for building them up. So yeah, very nice. Lovely, lovely kit. One of Airfix's best, I'd say. Looking at it, and look at that, they've had the thought to number those as well. So all of those are numbered for you. See in there you got S1 and sorry, S1, and then you've got 2P, 4S. Really nice, beautifully done. And then moving along, finally we've got here the clear parts, and we will open this because we need to have a look at them, don't we? Because we all know about some Airfix clear parts. Oh wow, very nicely done. Now look at this here. Let me grab something with some writing on it. Let's grab the instructions from this kit, and we can see how much it's going to make it all change. Now you can see on here, this area here is going to be painted. They've only left it clear because you've got the circular, you've got those circular windows in the side, so you can just mask that, mask around the front, and then the rest of it is going to be painted the same colour as the aircraft, rather than having to join a plastic piece and put bloody clear windows in behind and everything. This is the much better solution. So all we're interested in is those circular ports and the front screens. And if you remember, like I said, it's tiny. You're not going to see anything through there. So, but they are very, very nice indeed. So a nice bit of careful masking. It's going to look great. Let's see, you can just paint your cockpit black and give it a dry brush with some silvers and greys and stuff, just so it's got something going on in there, and it'll look absolutely fine. Our landing lights there. But no, that's lovely. No, none of those meet lines where the plastic meets. I guess that's because they've got the single sprue joint rather than having it coming in from both sides. Yeah, really, really nice. So there we go. That's been the review of the brand new 1/72 scale Avro Vulcan B2 from Airfix. Kit number is A12011. Absolutely beautiful, really lovely kit. I've just had a quick look and it would appear that this isn't used, so not sure what this is going to be off of. Maybe it's off of a different model or something, or they're going to use this sprue in another model that's coming, I don't know. But I'm sure somebody will know in the comments. But yeah, beautiful kit. We haven't got that grainy finish anymore, we've got the smooth finish. We haven't got the soft moulding lines, we haven't got the panel lines going in and out and disappearing. Everything is sharp, everything is crisp, there's no flash, not a single part broken off a sprue. It is up there, it's just beautiful. You know, if you didn't say it was Airfix, you wouldn't know it was. It's I think it's probably the best Airfix kit I've ever seen. It's gorgeous. It's very, very nice indeed, and I would recommend it to anybody who's got a couple of kits under their belt. I can't see anything in here that anybody would really struggle with. It's beautiful. The only restriction is going to be the size. It's a big old beast. You can see here the wings are sort of slightly apart. So say the wings are what's that? The wings are, what's that, 50mm apart. So the span on here, that's 2 inches. So the span on here is nearly 20. So it's going to be like an 18-19 inch wingspan. So it's a big old model, and you've got to try and store it somewhere. And yeah, you need a big old shelf space. But what a beautiful model when it's done. Imagine this sat on a shelf next to a B-52, eh? Just like Fairford in 2012, 2013. Vulcan sat on the runway. I managed to get my eyes over the screen, over the fence. The Vulcan sat on the runway. B-52 came down over it, and they almost kind of went together. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm waffling. I'll see you all soon. I recommend this kit to everyone. It is gorgeous. And if you're watching Airfix, thank you. You've done us all proud. Brilliant. It was worth the wait. Bye for now.